Hello everyone. I've decided to finally post again on here with another Speedpaint. This one, however, is a little bit different because I'm using a text-to-speech to actually talk during it. My other ones just consist of music and I find that kinda boring. I was originally going to use my own voice, but I don't really have a quiet enough environment for that right now. So anyway, this is a drawing of my two OCs named Brody and Reese. Brody is the one on the left that looks emo. He really loves My Little Pony and his favorite character is Rarity. I've had him as an OC for a while, but I decided to finally make a boyfriend for him since it is Pride Month. His boyfriend is Reese and he is like the stereotypical golden retriever character while Brody is more shy. I know that is a basic character dynamic, but I find it very cute. I'd like to imagine they met at a convention because they are both nerds in their own ways. Reese would bump into him and offer to help him around, noticing he was a bit shy on his own. Then they would end up spending the whole convention together. Come to find out they both live in the same city and start to hang out more. The two become very close until one day Brody confesses his feelings to Reese unexpectedly. This puts a small hold on the friendship as Reese figures out his own feelings, but in the end they start dating. It's a very simple story, but sometimes you just need a bit of romantic fluff. I really do enjoy the development though, because the past information about Brody just wasn't doing it for me anymore. I needed to get him a freshen up as a character. I don't really give my characters much development. Typically I don't even give them a relationship, so I'm glad I actually made a couple for once. I'm the kind of person to just draw a character and maybe give it some lore but then never touch it again, but lately I've been expanding with it. I really wish I had the motivation to turn this into a comic or fan fiction, but I have tried both with other stuff and I never end up finishing them. It's a bit of a problem I have when it comes to creating bigger projects. I do hope sometime soon to start art commissions on my Instagram, but I'm not really sure when I'd be able to do so. With that being said, please let me know if there is anything you guys would be interested in seeing. I want people to be able to kind of use my videos as a podcast or listen to it in the background while doing things. I have a few funny stories I'm willing to share in a Storytime Speedpaint. I think that can be really fun. Or I could even make a video just going further into my OCs and their stories. I'm really up for different suggestions. Don't be afraid to comment if you have any questions for me too. Okay, but for now let's talk about Brody's original lore. Some main points was that he is pansexual, autistic, and he is a young adult. Brody used to wear a plain purple jacket with a white hood. He actually dated someone else before, but they cheated on him, causing him to leave the relationship and not date for some time. I still want to keep these details in, but my main problem was actually art design. I was very glad to change it into something that fit his personality more. He now wears a turtleneck with a vest along with some shorts and long socks. He has on leg warmers and gloves too. And to top it off, he has on some Mary Janes. He has always had his black hair with the dyed purple pieces, which I really like because, well, my favorite color is purple. Also, his favorite character being Rarity has been the same and plays a big part. I think because of her it inspires him to make his own clothes and enjoy fashion. That is why I was unsatisfied with the fact he originally just wore some plain jacket and jeans. It just didn't make sense, to be honest. Another thing that hasn't changed is the fact he has braces. He feels embarrassed to have them still and thinks his smile isn't good because of it. He also tends to keep to himself unless you get him talking, and then he can't stop spewing nonsense. He becomes quite the chatterbox, especially if it's ranting or about My Little Pony. He will talk for hours until his social battery is drained and causes him to go non-verbal for a while. Due to not being a people person, he didn't have many friends to talk with besides online communities. But now that he has a boyfriend, it has become easier for him to talk. Reese really helps calm his anxiety, though at first he was scared of Reese's confidence and how outgoing he was. Reese was raised to ask questions and help others when it looks like they needed a hand. Honestly, he loves doing it too. He enjoys making others happy, and in returns it makes him happy. So when he met Brody and was able to grow closer due to knowing he was making him more comfortable. Reese has many people he calls friends, though none of them stuck with him as much as Brody. He was honestly shocked when Brody asked him out, but not because this had never happened to him before. He was actually asked out quite often, but because Brody was such a shy person you would never expect him to be the one confessing his feelings. Because Reese was so surprised by this he wasn't sure as Brody even meant to say it. But after he gave it time he learned Brody really did mean it and told him that he was ready to date him. Ever since the lovebirds have gone on many dates and shared many loving kisses. Like I said before, sometimes you just need a romantic fluffy story. I know it actually is very common to put an OC through the ringer and give them the worst traumatic experiences ever. Which I definitely do have OCs who have gone through stuff like that, but this one is much more sweet. I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic if you could not tell, but I think you would have to be deaf not to notice that. By now you can see the drawing coming together at least a little bit. I'll be truthful that I never meant to make this video so long. It was originally a little less than 30 minutes until I edited it down, but it's still around 20 minutes. I don't really want to make a video this long again anytime soon because it has been tiring to work on it. I am also very rusty using this program to edit on. And because I know my videos aren't popular enough anyway, which I'm okay with. I do have plans with doing sketchbook tours sometime on this channel because I do find those fun to do, and I'm sure I'll use my real voice for those videos later on. I already have a much shorter video planned with a funny story time to go along in the background, so just know I should be starting to post a little bit more than I have in the past. No promises though, guys. While making this and listen to the audio, it is making me feel like one of those Reddit Minecraft creators or with the Subway Surfers videos playing. LMAO. Don't expect this to become a Reddit channel though, because that isn't the content I'm looking to make, sorry. Update: because earlier in the video I said I edited it down from 30 to 20 minutes, but I was able to speed up certain clips to go faster, causing the video to be a little over 10 minutes, which I find much better in length than before. So if some parts seem to get faster or slow down during the video, that is why. Oh, also I would like to say, do not use my art without credit please. This includes profile pictures and reposting. Please either credit my Instagram or YouTube channel. The Instagram can be found in the description below. I think for my next video I will be talking about the Crespito story. I've told that story many times to friends and they always seem to like it a lot. Anyway, let's get back to Reese and Brody because they are getting closer to finished. I believe that Reese has natural brown hair, but when he meets Brody he decides he wants to dye it. Brody gets really excited and they come up with doing the color red since it was Reese's favorite color. Brody actually had red dye on his hands for days after because he didn't use gloves. Normally he only dyed the small parts of his hair so he doesn't use gloves, but because they did Reese's whole head he was covered in it. Brody didn't mind too much though because he often wore his fingerless gloves, which covers most of the damage. If anything, it looks like he was super cold and hands were turning pink from it. Or Reese liked to say Brody ate a lot of hot chips and it stains his fingers. Brody is not a spice eater though, so he knows Reese is just joking with him. The two of them clearly care for one another very much. Brody likes to rent movies for them to watch and cuddle, while Reese liked to take Brody to the park on picnics. They always find a way to fit into each other's plans so they can see each other more. Their conversations tend to flow effortlessly. At some point Brody would even make them matching outfits with his sewing machine. They will be in love forever because I said so. They are both such cutie pies to me and I'm excited to share all this about them. I don't care if anyone watches this, I just care I'm trying and developing my characters. I can't wait to introduce Dr. Confetti in a later video because he has a lot of lore and is related with the SCP Foundation, if you are familiar with that. Yes, he is a fandom OC. He has lore before and after joining the Foundation, but all of that is for a separate video of course. Well, this is the end of the video pretty much. I hope you all enjoyed the lore and discussions from the video if you watched. If not, then oh well. Remember to subscribe and honk the like button. If you want to know the music in the background, it is in the description below along with where you can find me on other platforms. Again, comment any suggestions or questions you have for me or the channel down below. It will be very much appreciated.